Hi friends, welcome to Interactive Medicine. In this section, we are going to discuss the basics in neuroanatomy. First, I want to discuss the anatomical reference points, directions in the nervous system, define how the animal is oriented, three major orthogonal axes, each with two directions and one perpendicular plane. First one, longitudinal axis, second one, vertical axis, and third one is side to side axis, which also means that lateral to medial axis. So longitudinal axis, anterior to posterior, anterior or rostral toward the nose of the animal, posterior or caudal toward the tail of the animal, coronal sections perpendicular to the longitudinal axis, and you can see the coronal sections here. So I am drawing a brain here. What is actually mean by corona? You can see cerebellum and pons. So this rose color, I make a plane and you can see the coronal section. Vertical axis, dorsal to ventral, dorsal or superior toward the top or back of the animal, ventral to inferior towards the bottom or belly of the animal. Horizontal section is the perpendicular to the vertical axis. It is parallel to ground. And you can see the dorsal view. Here is the dorsal view. When we look from the top side, we can see the brain looks like here. And the ventral view, when we view from inferior, the brain looks like this. In horizontal sections, when we cut a plane which is perpendicular to the ground, so this is ground, so perpendicular to the ground, we get a section that is horizontal section. So side to side axis, so lateral away from the midplane at the center of the animal toward the side of the animal, medial toward the midplane at the center of the animal. Sagittal section is the perpendicular to the lateral medial axis, parallel to midline. And sagittal section you can see here. So dorsal view, it's from upper view, we can see upper view, and the ventral, it's the inferior view, and the posterior and the anterior, you can see. And the medial, we have a midline. So away from the midline is lateral and more near to medial is medial. Midline is medial. More near to midline is medial and more away from midline is lateral. Orientation issues. There are problems in deciding the standard orientation of an animal. Humans are upright, most mammals are prone. So for human spinal cord, the person is prone. Therefore, for the brain, dorsal is toward the top of your head, but for the spinal cord, dorsal is your back. So I am drawing here brain, and this is dorsal for brain, and this is dorsal for spinal cord. So orientation of the human brain. Longitudinal axis of brainstem and the spinal cord. This is the longitudinal axis of brainstem and the spinal cord. This is the longitudinal axis of forebrain. So superior view, you can see here. This is the rostral and caudal view for forebrain, and this is the dorsal and ventral view for brainstem and the spinal cord. And this is the caudal and anterior and caudal point for spinal cord. The divisions of the nervous system. Two main subdivisions: central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system include brain and spinal cord. Peripheral include ganglia and peripheral nerves. Provides pathways to from the central nervous system for electrochemical signals. Central nervous system, brain and spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system include the cranial nerves, the ganglia, and the spinal nerves. can see here the spinal nerves, which innervates all the body, and it is outside the central nervous system. The peripheral nervous system composed of two divisions, the somatic and the autonomic. Somatic provides sensory information that is voluntary, transmit impulses to and from the skeletal muscles, usually conscious actions. Autonomic motor system for viscera. Autonomic is involuntary and is further divided into three subdivisions. Autonomic nervous system, three subdivisions of autonomic is sympathetic, parasympathetic, and the enteric. Sympathetic participates in the body's response to stress, fight or flight. Parasympathetic returns the body to rest state. Enteric controls the smooth muscles of the gut. Peripheral nervous system, we have two divisions, sensory division and the motor division. Sensory, we have two divisions, the sensing from external and from internal, and autonomic and somatic are the two divisions of motor divisions. Autonomic is involuntary and somatic is voluntary. Autonomic have two divisions, mainly parasympathetic and sympathetic, but we can say one more, enteric. And parasympathetic division, which includes which helps in constriction of the pupils of the eye, the constriction of the smooth muscle, that is sphincter pupillae, and the stimulates the salivary gland. We can write that the secretions of the gland. The parasympathetic division is promote secretion of gland, and it slow the heart rate and constriction of smooth muscles in the bronchi and lungs, bronchi and trachea, stimulates activity of stomach and the intestines, stimulates pancreatic activity, stimulates gallbladder, promotes voiding from bladder, promotes the erection of genitals. Sympathetic divisions, which dilates the pupils of the eye, which acts on the dilator muscle, inhibits salivary gland secretion, inhibits gland secretions, and relaxes bronchial in lungs, which means that smooth muscle relaxation in trachea and bronchi, accelerates heart rate, inhibits activity of stomach and intestine, inhibits activity of pancreas, stimulates glucose release from the liver, inhibits gallbladder, and during fighting or flighting, gluconeogenesis will occur, which eventually leads to the glucose release, stimulates adrenal medulla, inhibits voiding from bladder, promotes ejaculation and vaginal contractions. Orientation of the peripheral nervous system. Dorsal roots carry sensory information to the spinal cord. Ventral roots carry outgoing motor axons. Peripheral nerves formed from dorsal and ventral roots. The symmetry of peripheral nerves is arranged in two axes. The longitudinal, that is rostral to caudal, head to tail, dorsal to ventral, back to front. Segmented, 31 pairs of spinal nerves and 12 pairs of cranial nerves. The central nervous system consists of seven main regions, that is spinal cord, medulla, pons, midbrain, cerebellum, cytencephalon, cerebral hemispheres. It is from bottom to top. The spinal cord, it is a column of tissue from the brain through the spinal column, from base of skull through first lumbar vertebrae, not entire length of the spinal column. Thickness of pencil, about 70 mm long, links brain with nerves to all parts of the body, contains ascending pathways through which sensory information reaches the brain and descending pathways that relay motor commands from the brain. The reflex are some involuntary movements are known as reflexes, controlled by a pathway that goes only to the spinal cord, not the brain. Reflexes are just two or three motor neurons that forms a loop. We can picture in the reflex arc here. So when I beat in that tendon of the quadriceps muscle, so the sensory neurons transmit impulses to the spinal cord through ganglia, dorsal root ganglia. It reaches the gray matter, and some have interneuron which present between sensory and motor, some they don't have, and the motor neurons transmit the impulses to the quadriceps muscle through the ventral root. It goes to the quadriceps muscle extensor. The brain. Remaining six areas of central nervous system are part of brain. The control center of the body regulates body activity, enables you to think. Surface is gray matter, 6 into 10 raised to cells in body per cubic centimeter. Uh, Under gray matter is white matter formed of myelinated axons. Surface of brain neocortex is convoluted areas, increases surface area. You can see the ridges and the grooves. And the groove are the sulci. Grooves are not sulci. You can see here. And the ridges, some elevated ridges, that is gyrus. Italy, you can see it increases the surface area. The protection of the brain and the central nervous system, the skull and the spinal column, the meninges. It has three layers of tissue protecting brain. And dura mater, we have two layer, periosteal layer and meningeal layer. It is the outer tough layer, and these two divisions, periosteal layer and the meningeal layer. Uh, the subdural space is between meningeal layer and the arachnoid matter, and next to dura mater is arachnoid membrane. Subarachnoid space between arachnoid and pia mater. Subdural subarachnoid space, spongy layer filled with cerebrospinal fluid and blood vessels. Pia mater is membrane that covers the brain. Pia means delicate and the matter means mother. Dura means thick. Arachnoid means spider-like arrangement. CSF helps in acts as a cushion for brain, circulates around the brain and the spinal cord. It is formed from choroidal plexus. Choroidal plexus form in all ventricles of the brain. Brain terminology. The cortex is a thin sheet of neurons, usually at the surface. Nucleus clearly separated groups of neurons inside the central nervous system. Substantia is like a nucleus but less clearly delineated. Locus, a small well-defined group of cells in the central nervous system. Ganglion, collection of somata in the PNS. One group of central nervous system is basal ganglia. Tract is a bundle of CNS fibers with a common origin and destination. CNS fibers means group of axons. Bundle is a CNS fibers that have more than one origin and destination. Capsule is fiber connecting cerebrum and the brainstem. Commissure is a group of fibers crossing the midline. For example, corpus callosum. The hindbrain developmental division. It has two divisions, metencephalon and the melencephalon. It is formed at the 5th week of gestation. You can see my reference in the embryology. Cerebellum, pons, fourth ventricle from metencephalon, and the medulla and fourth ventricle from myelencephalon. The medulla oblongata and pons. Medulla oblongata is located in the bottom or rostral region of the brainstem, regulates blood pressure and respiration, controls breathing, swallowing, digestion, heart and blood vessels. Pons above the medulla links cerebellum to cerebrum, relays information from cerebral hemisphere to cerebellum. The cerebellum dorsal to the pons and medulla, mostly white matter covered with thin layer of gray matter. Previous surface divided into several lobes, receives sensory input from the spinal cord, motor information from the cerebral cortex and input about balance from receptors in the inner ear, therefore can coordinate planning and timing of voluntary muscles movement and maintaining balance. The midbrain, it has no another divisions, so mesencephalon is another name of midbrain. It has three parts: tectum, tegmentum, cerebral aqueduct, and the tectum have two parts, superior colliculus and the inferior colliculus. So I can draw here. So here is our brain. So this yellow part is midbrain, which connects the the brainstem to the cerebrum. So this small portion is yellow portion is midbrain. So it has the superior colliculus and the inferior colliculus is located. It has superior colliculus is for visual reflex and the inferior colliculus is for auditory reflex. So in visual reflex, what is mean by that? Something you see, then your body moves or takes action, which means that when you go in a street, suddenly you see something weird, you suddenly stop. So you takes action because you see something in front of you. Auditory reflex is something you heard, then you take the action, which means that some bombardments or crackers sound, you suddenly afraid, that is, or take necessary actions, that is auditory reflex. So midbrain controls response to sight, realization of auditory and visual signals, and motor control of some skeletal muscles. Cerebral aqueduct, which connects the third ventricle to the fourth ventricle, and it contains the CSF. The brainstem anatomically from the bottom up, the medulla, pons, and the midbrain. Taken together, we can call it brainstem, contains all the nerves that connect the spinal cord with the cerebrum, receives sensory information from head, face and neck. Motor neurons controls muscles of the head and neck. 12 pairs of cranial nerves carry input and output, also involved in hearing, taste and the balance. In the brainstem, you can see reticular formation. It is a complex of network. You can see the fibers from eye, the fibers to the cerebral cortex, and the fibers to the spinal cord. Reticular means network. Reticular means a network. It is a complex network of fibers that runs through the brainstem and thalamus, turns on the rest of the brain when a message is received, acts as a filter, important role in consciousness, awareness, self, and sleep. The forebrain, which includes telencephalon and the diencephalon. Telencephalon has olfactory bulb, cerebral cortex, basal telencephalon or basal ganglia, and corpus callosum and the internal capsule and the lateral ventricles. Corpus callosum is the commissure between cerebral hemisphere. You can see here, it is the commissure between the right and left cerebral hemisphere. Internal capsule is the connection with the brainstem. Diencephalon, which includes the thalamus and the hypothalamus. The diencephalon, thalamus and hypothalamus taken together, important structures found in the cerebrum between midbrain and the cerebral hemisphere. Thalamus include hypothalamus, third ventricle, thalamus, hypothalamus and third ventricle. Third ventricle contains the CSF and CSF comes from choroid plexus. Retina and optic nerves develop from optic vesicle that pouches off from diencephalon during the development. So actually optic nerves are basically from telencephalon. It's a part of the neocortex. The thalamus and the hypothalamus. Thalamus acts as a relay center and progress and distributes almost all sensory and motor information going to the cerebral cortex, links nervous and endocrine system, emotional control. Hypothalamus under the thalamus regulates the autonomic nervous system, connects to thalamus, midbrain and some cortical areas, controls body temperature, thirst, hunger, emotional behavior. Forebrain, you can see cerebrum and thalamus and the hypothalamus. And midbrain, you can see here, it has colliculus or corpora quadrigemina. Hindbrain, it includes pons, medulla oblongata, cerebellum. The limbic system, a functional and evolutionary division rather than anatomical group of structures in the center of brain above the brainstem, which includes hypothalamus, pituitary, hippocampus and hippocampal gyrus, amygdala. Hippocampus involved in memory, amygdala coordinates the actions of autonomic and endocrine systems and involved in emotion. Functions of the limbic system, sometimes called mammalian brain because most highly developed in mammals, one of the oldest areas of brain from an evolutionary standpoint and maintains homeostasis. Example helps maintain temperature, blood pressure, heart rate and blood sugar, also involved in emotional reactions needed for survivals. And basically we can say the functions are fleeing, fighting, feeding and dash. Visualizing the limbic system, you can see the hypothalamus and pituitary and the hippocampus and hippocampal gyrus and the amygdala here. So the cerebral hemisphere, it is the largest region of brain, 7 to 8 by weight, includes cerebral cortex, outer surface of gray matter, underlying white matter, three nuclear clusters of related neurons, the basal ganglia, hippocampal formation, the amygdala. These are masses of gray matter at the base of cerebrum that serve the motor cortex, paired cavities known as lateral ventricles, and divide into two half spheres known as hemispheres, the right and the left hemisphere. The cerebral cortex, the convoluted outer surface, grooves sulci, elevated regions known as gyri, composed of gray matter, 2 to 5 mm thick, contains approximately 12 billion neurons. Most of the cerebral cortex is concerned with the processing sensory information or motor commands. Two bands of tissue, one sensory, one motor, divided into primary, secondary and tertiary. The primary sensory and motor cortex. Primary motor cortex controls voluntary movements of limbs and trunks, contains neurons that project directly to spinal cord to activate somatic motor neurons. Primary sensory areas receive information from peripheral receptors with only a few synaptic relays interposed. The Brodmann areas, cytoarchitectural areas of the neocortex, regions with similar cell structure, numbered, each presents a functionally distinct area. Examples, area 17 is the primary visual cortex and the area 4 is for a primary motor cortex, and area 17 we can see in caudal pole of the occipital lobe, primary auditory cortex on the left side of the temporal lobe near language center. Secondary and tertiary areas. Secondary have another name, that is premotor area, and the tertiary is supplementary area. Surrounding primary areas are higher order secondary, tertiary, sensory and motor areas. The function of these areas are process and integrates information coming from the primary sensory areas, and higher order motor areas send complex information required for motor actions to primary motor areas. The association areas. Three other large regions of cortex surround the primary, secondary and tertiary areas called association area. In primates, association areas are majority of cortex. We can see the homunculus. Homunculus is the arrangement in the cortex of the uh, brain. Cortex of the brain. You can see a specific arrangement in the in the primary motor area, that is from medial side it is toes, knees, hip and trunk and shoulder, then in the middle region, in middle region the arm, elbow, wrist, hand, fingers, thumb. In the lower region we can see the neck, and face, lips, jaw, tongue. And in primary somatosensory cortex, you can see the genitals in more medial, then leg, hip, then trunk. You can see neck and head, then arm, elbow, forearm, hand, fingers, thumb in the middle region. In the lower region, you can see eye, nose, face, lips, then teeth, gums, jaw, tongue, pharynx. Then intra-abdominal region is most lower part in the primary somatosensory cortex. The lobes of the cerebrum, two sides called hemispheres, joined by a bridge known as corpus callosum, separated by a deep fissure front to back, like two mirror images but not quite, divided into four lobes. But we can say it's five lobes because there is another lobe known as insula. So the lobes are frontal, parietal, temporal, occipital. Then fifth one is insula. Then and the frontal lobe, it has the intellectual function, reasoning, aggression, sexual behavior, in speech, smell, and voluntary movements. In parietal lobe, the body sensory awareness, including taste, language, abstract thought, especially mathematics, then body imaging. Temporal lobe includes part of the limbic system and emotion, interpretation of language, hearing, and memory. The occipital lobe, receiving, interpreting, and discriminating visual stimuli, association of visual stimuli with memory, integration of brain functions, interactions of all area sensory, motor, and motivational systems is essential for behavior. Example: throw a ball, information about motion of ball, impact of ball, position of arms, legs, hands, etc. Sensory, motor, motivational systems. Anatomical organization of each major functional system, sensory, motor, motivational, follows four principles. Principles of anatomical organization. Each system contains relay centers. They don't just transmit information but also modify it. Most important relay center is thalamus. Almost all sensory information to the cerebral cortex processed by thalamus. Each system is composed of several distinct pathways, example touch and pain. Continuation. Each pathway is topographically organized, that is known as neural map. Cluster. It has clustered functions. Most pathways cross the body's midline, which means that I am drawing the cerebral cortex, cerebellum, the spinal cord, then the tract is come from the cerebral cortex and another is comes to the cerebral cortex to the spinal cord. So it is crossing over in the some part of the uh, brain in the central nervous system. So you can see these are going to be functioning in contralateral side. You can see that the most pathways cross the body's midline, thus each hemisphere controls the actions or sensation of the opposite side. Left side dominates language, right side dominates in spatial perception, musical ability. Ipsilateral or contralateral. The cerebral hemisphere are involved with inputs and outputs from the contralateral side of the body. Damage to the neocortex causes problems on the opposite side. In patients with epilepsy, surgeons occasionally cut corpus callosum to relieve seizure. The cerebellum is involved with the control of movement of ipsilateral side of the body. Damage the cerebellum. You can see ipsilateral means same side, contralateral means opposite side. So damage to cerebellum causes motor deficits on the same side. Use it or lose it. So Neurons are not undergoing going to be hyperplasia. They don't have the ability to divide. So it is the neocortex that makes us humans. Genetics has much to do with neocortical circuitry. Environment and experience, however, modify neocortical circuitry. Like your body failing to exercise, your mind modifies it, and not for the better. Okay friends, thank you, have a nice day.